of Wise Central next Friday night. So, one last time, Chris, what do we got score-wise as we take it around the region?
Okay, we'll go to Virginia. We'll pick up with there. As of right now, Ridgeview 41, Abingdon 0. That's probably gone final at this point. Graham 37, Richlands 10. I think that one did go final. Patrick Henry 49, Honeacre 21. It's final. J.I. Burton 28, Castlewood 7. Last report, Lebanon 28, Virginia High 20 with a minute and change to go. Then I never saw anything again. Tazewell's final score 61-21 over Marion. Wise Central 55-11 over Lee. Eastside was ahead of Thomas Walker 35-12 at the last report. Then final, Chilhowie over Grundy 42-6. Rycove over Twin Valley 38-8. Not a lot of close games in Virginia tonight.
No.
Well, then as soon as I say that, Hurley was ahead of Holston 22-20. That was in the first half, though, and I haven't really seen anything since on that one. And then, of course, by request, Buffalo Gap was ahead of Wilson 38-14.
Now, jumping over to Tennessee really quick, just saw this. 3:12 left to play. Dobbs-Bennett has got the football on the 18-yard line. Party time.
This is when heroes are made.
23-17. Again, that ball game, Science Hill leads. Updating you a little bit on what's going on. The Falcons, a volunteer, have taken out Unicoi, has gone final. 40-28 is the final score there. Another game going in the fourth quarter. The Patriots of Sullivan East lead Sullivan North 21-14.
That was the score going into halftime, so they played the third quarter straight up. No score.
Straight up. As Paul Abdul would say, straight up.
Crockett was trailing Boone at last report, 21-14.
Oh, my goodness sakes. Should have won some money there.
Looks like Elizabethton holds on to defeat Sullivan South 14-13. Carson Stressman blocks the PAT on a late touchdown run.
Wow.
Ooh. You talk about being the hero of Betsytown.
Oh, my goodness sakes. So, let's see here. Of course, the Blazers now lead 28-20 over, oh, my goodness, over at Crockett. So, again,
I told you that one also. Boone was ready to play that game. I had a feeling on it.
There will be bedlam in Gray.
The Dairy Queen may not survive.
Well, as I drive to Johnson City each day for work, there's been a wreck right around Gray every day. And talk about a melee that may happen. There'll be no traffic moving around on I-26 around Gray probably until Monday or Tuesday if that calls up.
Greenville was ahead of Granger 42-8, and Central and Union County, Tennessee were tied at 12 at last report, but that's been a while also.
All right. So,
Joe, this game was kind of ugly, but sometimes you got to win ugly, and a win is a win is a win, however you want to get it.
Well, Gate City they played well in spots. They did have a couple of fumbles there. Of course, first time they played in rain all season long, which was, it's not an excuse.
Well, it was just as wet on both sides of the field.
Right. So,
but again, a win's a win. They were able to overcome their slow start. They were able to overcome a little bit of sluggishness, and the second half, particularly the fourth quarter, they look like their old selves we've seen for the last month, really.
Well, they came into this game as the favorite. That's something I talked to Coach Housewright about not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, being the hunted instead of the hunters. Now they've got a little bit of momentum, and people are, anticipating what we saw here. And it's a little bit different. You have to learn how to win and learn how to, to close things out, and they did. So, hats off to them, and they've got a tough one next week. Wise Central, very up and down, though, as well, a team this year. Of course, they lost a couple in the middle of the season, but, of course, knocked off Union last week. They have been rolling and took care of business with Lee.
It seems kind of strange to say this, but I wonder if maybe Gate City was an overlooking battle a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I think, it's hard to, again, they're learning how to win and learning how to be, like I said, the hunters instead, or the hunted instead of the hunters. So, Was looking for anything on that Dobbs Bennett before we signed off.
Well, my dad's not texted me either, so he's either had a heart attack or they're celebrating here.
So anyway, if that comes, don't say that. I'll just say
no. Dad's in good health.
All right. So, oh wow, okay. Yeah, everybody's yelling at us. I'm sure that's what it was. So, anyway, again, a great night for Gate City. 49-21. Again, we'll finish up here, head back to Kingsport, where hopefully we'll pass just another note that came in. Royal Retreat has knocked off Northwood. We knew that one was probably going to be that way. Again, Northwood with only one win this season. And, that Tennessee High, again, that game, I think you said went final. Is that correct?
Let's see. I have to check back. I've already folded up my notes.
Sorry about that.
You're just testing me here. I did not have that as a final. 42-7 was the last score I had.
Well, they called it. They've called it. Dave Krieger on Twitter has called that one. So anyway, 49-21 winners over John Battle, and the Toppers, regardless of who wins, DB down. They're down to the 34-yard line of Science Hill. 1:27 left. 24-23. Everybody should have just listened to
Joe. That's going to be like the one pick that any of us got right tonight.
Listen to Joe. Joe will take you to the promised land. I'll lead you there. All right. So anyway, but we certainly do want to appreciate everybody, all of our sponsors, everybody that's helped out to make this a possibility. We'll be broadcasting live again from Legion Field next week. Going to be a little bit earlier start time. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social media outlets. We'll let you know exactly where. Of course, we'll be at the Campus Drive-In on Wednesday night to talk to a joyous group of Blue Devils as they prepare again for senior night at Gate City. So with all that said, this for Mr. Carr, this is Joe Carter. Certainly do appreciate you. You've been listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.